This is what I was afraid of. I knew his teammates would turn on him if he's not giving effort, especially after missing the time that he did and not being in training camp. And it just all came into a head yesterday when you don't want to be a part of team drills and activities and everybody else is putting the effort and energy in, especially to a team who was number one team in the East last year. They got goals and aspirations to get into the finals. And then you got a guy who's not bought in and the team has stopped everything and publicly went out and said they want this guy back. And you got your other superstar on the other end saying, hey, we're not going to babysit him and we're going to make this thing happen. But really, let's really put this in perspective. Ben Simmons and his agent came back because they knew the money that he was going to miss. So he came back obviously because he didn't want to get fined and lose a lot of money. Philly probably really thought they could probably convince him, get around the guys on the team. He may decide that he wants to play. Obviously, he really does not want to be there. Yesterday kind of shows that, and they've probably been seeing this as a pattern of the last couple of days. It's time to move on from him. He's become a distraction. He's coming headline news for them now every day. Everybody's concerned with him. And it's just bad management by Philly. You give Philly, take your hats off a little bit for trying to make this work, but it's not going to work, and it's affecting the other guys on the team, especially when your leader, your best player, is now coming out publicly. So things are now in the open that he's getting that they're babysitting him, and the guys are tired of it, and it's coming from the main guy. So they got to get Ben to a situation and get him out of there. He's not going to be good for them, and while he still has some value, and I think Ben has to realize that too, he's killing his value with his attitude right now. Right. He's not making himself marketable right now. He's hurting himself, and I'm surprised. Rich Paul and them have done a terrific job of getting guys great contracts and doing a lot of great things for a lot of players. I'm not sure Chris or Nick and Kevin about the strategy that they're using against Philly right now.
Well, look, Twine, last week when Ben returned, I said we have to be open to the possibility that he went back to act up. A la James Harden in Houston, a la Jimmy Butler in Minnesota. Now, he doesn't have it in him to do what Jimmy Butler did in Minnesota. So Ben is taking the approach of, I'm going to mope. All right, kind of like when you were a kid, right, and your mom punished you and you were mad at her and you wanted to show her how upset you were and you just kind of moped around and didn't talk to her and didn't say anything thinking you're punishing her. That's what Ben Simmons is doing. He's moping. All right, look, I got no problem with what Doc Rivers did by kicking him out of practice. I've got no problem with what Joel Embiid said. None whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, they're grown men. And after a while, you're like, man, forget you. You don't want to play, go. All right? Just get out of here. I have no issue with what Joel said. Now, here's what I think they need to do going forward, Twine. I think you hit it on the head. Ben is killing his trade market. All right, I'm not saying no teams want him, but he is lowering it to an incredible degree. All right, because I've talked to executives around the league who are like, I don't know that he's over the mental block that he showed in the playoffs last year. We could argue he's had a mental block throughout his career because he won't take outside shots. But in the playoffs, you don't know that mental block is gone. We have to see it on the court. All right, so some think that exists. And then his unprofessionalism is really rubbing some people the wrong way. Like, what's to say he can't come here and do the same thing if he's not happy? So I think Ben Nick needs to go to Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey and say, look, I still want out, but I'm going to put on a happy face and get out there and play my best because I want to help raise my trade value so you can move me. Then hold a press conference before he plays a game and say to the fans in Philadelphia, because if he doesn't do this, Nick, the fans in Philadelphia will torch him and he'll probably crumble. So I say hold a press conference, say to the fans, look, I was upset first and foremost with the way I played, with myself. I didn't play up to my potential in the playoffs, and I was upset with myself. I was upset with us being beaten by Atlanta. We were the number one seed. We shouldn't have went out in the second round. And yeah, I was upset with what Doc and what Joel said about me. And I handled it the wrong way. But I understand now I did it the wrong way. And I'm coming back. I looked in the mirror. And now I'm going to play my best and try to help this team win basketball games. When the media ask him, does that mean you don't want to be traded? Just say, look, Wright, I don't know what the future holds. But right now, I'm a Philadelphia 76er, and I'm here to win basketball games. Leave it at that.
Broussard.
Go out and play well, and then maybe you up your trade value.
So, look, I know you said it was fan fiction of Broussard's idea to have a press conference. I think that is the move because it's the best strategy that I've ever heard so far out of to solve Ben's situation. I would add, Broussard, that you have to have someone there with him. I think he has to be counseled by Iverson or have Aaron McKee there. Have someone there next to him that's like, you know what? I talked to the great Allen Iverson. He's here right now. And then Philly fans are like, oh, we're in a tough spot. Because here's my issue, Antoine. There's been no strategy to this at all. At all. It's like, after the player's like, I'm going to work on my game. Great, you're going to go to the Olympics? That's a great place to work on your game and sort of be on a big stage. No, not going to do that. Then we heard, I'm okay eating the fines. Okay, and then you're like, okay, good, we're going to put your money in escrow. Like, ooh, didn't realize that. Okay, then we heard, hey, don't fly out. Don't fly out, Sixers, on your own dime and how expensive jet fuel is. Don't fly out. I'm not changing my mind. Then what happens a week later? Knock, knock, knock. Hey, Elton Brand, it's me, Ben Simmons. Then we hear, I'm going to practice. Oh, he's at practice in sweatpants. And then what happens? Well, I'm going to act up in practice. There is zero strategy to this at all. So I honestly think that Broussard's idea to have a press conference, add Iverson there, and say, hey, I'm going to go out and play hard, and Philly will forgive you. I know that sounds ridiculous. If you go out there and play super hard,
that's a good idea.
Read Zach Ertz's thing, what he wrote about leaving the Eagles. Just play hard. That's all fans are asking. Play hard, and everyone will be forgiven. Your stock value go up, and then you can go play in Sacramento, your dream city. That's the best idea.
But Kev, how about this? How about Ben Simmons taking some accountability? You had a rough playoffs. Everybody's had. If you're a great player in this league, every year is going to be different. Obviously, players want to be great every year. You go back in the gym, you figure it out, and you get better.
Didn't happen.
They show videos of him work. They show videos of him working out and doing these things. And Chris, yesterday you said he loves to play basketball. I don't know if you love to play basketball because I would have embraced this challenge. I'm going to embrace this challenge to come in and prove everybody wrong that I could be a big-time player come playoff time. That doesn't mean I got to make 10 jump shots. That's not what he does. You know, he's a guy that's a triple-double threat, a great defender. But now I'm going to change the narrative a little bit. I'm going to take a couple jump shots. I just watched a guy win an NBA title with limited ability to shoot the basketball from the free throw line and from the three. But you know what he did?
Great take.
He figured it out. He figured it out right when it was going, right when the season was going up, and got MVP of the finals and gave us one of the best NBA finals performances of all time. I can't do it. I love Ben. I think he's a great talent, but I'm Embiid on this. I'm not babysitting no guy. We're trying to win a title. We're trying to get things done. You either come on board or let's move on. He's not that good of a player. He's not established himself to where we have to sit and wait. So I don't know what your guy Daryl Morey is doing or what he thinks he's going to get for Ben out there, but you traded away Harden, and you left Houston with nothing. Look at Houston right now. So don't say what you won't do for Ben. So you might as well get rid of it. You got some pieces in play and move on from it. This is not good for the Sixers or Embiid, the guy who wants to, obviously play in the finals.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.